All right, so within the last couple of hours, this story dropped from the Washington Post. So apparently, the league has made a presentation on the case it plans to present to the league. The NFLPA has seen that. Watson's people, according to a person with knowledge of the matter, believe that the suspension they are seeking is significant, probably a year, they say. Along those lines, the NFLPA has retained outside attorney Jeffrey Kessler to become involved in the case. Person familiar with the NFL view said, the league is wary that Kessler will argue for no disciplinary action. Now, Jeffrey Kessler, G. Bush, is the heaviest of heavy hitters as far as sports law goes. He was involved in arguing the case that the NCAA's treatment of Division I college football and basketball players with no pay was not proper. He won that case. He was involved in arguing the Deflategate case for Tom Brady. He was involved in arguing the Bountygate case. He was involved in arguing Adrian Peterson's case, Ray Rice's case, Adrian Peterson's case, Ezekiel Elliott's case. In short, the NFLPA is getting a real heavy hitter to lawyer up in this situation who's going to make the argument that he shouldn't be suspended at all.
I just think sometimes when you say it a bunch of times and you start to really think about it, I ask myself this. Everybody has basically stated that the reason they're going to suspend Deshaun Watson is because one segment of the population might be upset, or you didn't go hard enough on him, and it looks bad. Well, they got another thing on their hand at this point too, and I said this earlier. I said it in Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I'm going to tell you, there are individuals who look like me, who come from where I come from, who come from a certain area of this country, and that live by two different standards, as whether you are presumed guilty or you have outcomes that are equal or fair in the judicial system. African American men do not have the same set of rules or standards when it comes to practicing penalties, when it comes to the courtroom, and when it comes to anything. They're going to have I need them to think very long and hard about this, right? Because I've been always on the side of, hey, why would I suspend him if he still says he's not guilty of anything and he wants to defend himself in not only criminal court, but civil court? He's already won the criminal cases. So now you're going to say, I'm not even going to give this young man an opportunity to have his day in civil court to contest what these women are saying, right? And the women have an opportunity to have that case, as well as Deshaun Watson. They're going to have a very hard time selling that to the black community, saying we are now going to tell you we're going to suspend you for a whole year because we don't like the way it sounds. Well, you got a very hard problem because they're bringing in heavy hitters. They're bringing in other guys, and I'm sure I'm not a lawyer. I don't have I don't have any picks in this situation. But they're going to bring a lawyer in that's going to say, okay, well, why don't we just bring an injunction? How's about we sue the league, right? And if we want to sue the NFL, that means if we want to bring a lawsuit forward, we get an operation, we get an opportunity to get discovery, right? So I want to get discovery on Daniel Snyder. I want all the discovery emails between the league office and Robert Kraft and exactly what happened in Jupiter or Florida. And I also want to know about the your assault cases and the photographs and all the illicit things going on in Dallas. Now, what happens is that discovery becomes public. Now, league, do you really want them finding out all of that with the discovery? And I always place this on, and I put this on the backdrop. I'm very leery to talk about things of race and blanket stating things. I'm very clear on that. But the problem is this: they have a Colin Kaepernick thing on their hand. The league, you telling me we have to take sexual assault? Yes, we do. But you took kneeling to a whole nother level. Effectively, not only is Ray Rice out of the league, he should have been for what he did. Great. But you also have Colin Kaepernick, who's never gotten a job again, and he didn't do anything about sexual assault. You just didn't like the fact that he kneeled during the national anthem. He has never played a lick, not a down again in the National Football League, and you had to pay him money to do so. So now we're looking at you like this. Okay, you got similar crimes, you got similar burdens of proof. Now all of a sudden you're going to tell me you're going to suspend Deshaun Watson for an entire year when we have television. We understand what Robert Kraft did, right? They're not gonna let that slide. And there's a lot of people in the African American community that are going to be upset with that move because it shows blatant bias and disrespect for the two standards of rules that the NFL is trying to operate under. It just doesn't work that way.
G. Bush, well stated. Appreciate it.